Good evening, everyone. I'm glad that you're here tonight for our Path Kickoff. If I could have everyone's attention, please. Everyone's attention, please. Thank you. First of all, I want to welcome you to our new year of Path. We're looking forward to an exciting year with everything that's going to be going on. We have a new curriculum, we have new leaders, we have new ways of doing things that we're going to be learning about tonight. So if you've had older siblings or who have been part of Path, you're going to see things are a little bit different than you've seen in the past. What we're looking at this year is for your journey through Path is to know God and know that you are loved. Those are the things that we really want to instill in every single one of you, is that we're going to take the time to get to know God and how He can be a part of our lives and how we can really internalize everything that He has to give to us. But then to know that we are loved by God, loved by each other, loved by our small group, loved by our leaders, loved by our families, just so that we can make sure that we're going through this journey and we're not doing it alone. So, I guess I should probably introduce myself. I'm Jared Skorberg. I am the Path Confirmation Manager here for Light of Christ Church. We'll talk a little bit about my roles a little bit later, but I do help to manage a lot of the things that go with the ins and outs of Path on a weekly basis, as well as the Path Bash and the Path Retreat. So we're going to do a little bit of an icebreaker. If I could have one leader from each group come up and grab a piece of paper, enough for you and your small group. Parents, if you want to join in that would be great as well. Everyone will need something to draw with. Either in your Path bag, you should have a pen or a pencil, and if you don't, leaders should have extra pens in their binder. Okay, well, I'll give a couple more seconds for everybody to get their piece of paper. If you have a pen or a pencil or something that's in your Path bag, go ahead and pull that out. If you don't, then ask your leader for one. They should have some extra ones in their binder. Oh, I forgot. Okay, sorry. I'm a walker. My fault. Yeah. So. Okay. Let me give you some directions on how this is going to go. For those of you who are joining us at home, if you want to just grab a blank piece of paper as well, that would be great. Then you can share your stuff when we get to small group. But what I'd like for you to do is, first of all, fold the paper hot dog style, so the long way. Fold it the long way. And once you have it folded the long way, then fold it over again, like so. So it almost looks like a little card.
Yes, no one read my email between you two.
So once you have folded it like a hot dog and then fold it in half, go ahead and open it back up and you'll see that you have 4 quadrants. And this icebreaker is called, ironically, 4 quadrants. So what you're going to do is you're not going to write any words, you're just going to draw. I want you to draw what I'm going to tell you to draw in each one of these quadrants, and then you're going to share your drawing with the rest of your small group for them to get to know you a little bit better. For those of you who are at home and viewing this at home, you'll be able to share with your small groups when you get in at that time later. So on this first quadrant on the top quadrant up here, I want you to draw who is your family. Draw who is your family. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. If you do stick people, I'm good with that, because that's probably about as well as I would do. So who is your family in this top quadrant up here? You want to add in pets in there as well. If you want to grandma or grandpa live with you, you can put that in there too, however you want to do it. In the second quadrant, I know you're still drawing, but in case somebody gets finished, on the second quadrant, which is on the top as well, I want you to draw what is your favorite activity? Your favorite activity. It could be a sport that you're involved with, it could be music, it could be drama, it could be, reading, it could be walking, whatever it is that you like to do. What is your favorite activity? So the first one on the top is your family, the one beside it is your favorite activity. So we have family, favorite activity. Then on the bottom, the first one that's underneath the family one, you're going to draw what is your favorite childhood memory. What is your favorite childhood memory? Mine was getting my first two-wheeler bike on Christmas morning. It's one of my favorite childhood memories. So think of a childhood memory that you have and draw that in that first quadrant on the bottom. Then in the last column, or the last quadrant that you're going to draw, I want you to draw what is your wish from being a part of Path this year? What is a wish that you hope you will get as being a part of Path this year? And I know that may be kind of hard for some of you who have not been a part of Path, but maybe it's making new friends, maybe it's getting to know God more, maybe it's being able to understand the Bible more. Whatever you want your wish to be, draw that in that last quadrant. So you should have family, then your favorite activity, favorite childhood memory, and what you wish from Path. Leaders, once that is done, you feel like your boys or girls are done with their drawings, then get together, circle up, and start helping each other explain what your quadrants are. We'll take probably about 10 to 12 minutes to do that. Okay, so as soon as you're ready, you may start doing that. Like I said, those of you who are home, go ahead and draw as much as you want. You'll be able to share yours when you're zoomed in for a small group tonight. Like I said, leaders, just kind of keep an eye on your kids, and when you feel like you're ready, you can circle them up right where you are at. Circle them right where you are.
Okay, guys, let's have a seat again. You can finish that up later in small groups, hopefully. How many of you is this your first year in Path? That side, right? You're going to watch a video that shows you one of our great events that we have at Path. You guys may be seeing this for the first time, but we're going to watch the Path Retreat video from this year. Just going to buffer for a second. So the Path Retreat is a fun weekend that we go up to Lake Geneva. Last year we had to do it here, but that's some things to look forward to if you're new. Parents, we will post photos and videos like that on our Facebook page. You just need to search Path Light of Christ Confirmation Program. I'll also try to send the link out in a recap email. Also, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you ever are not able to be here in person, and you can search LOC Path for that. I will also send the link out in email. But those are two of our social media ways that we will pump stuff out to you guys. So, and now I'm going to invite Momo up. You guys know her as Pastor Mo. I know her as Momo. She's going to tell you a lot about Path.
Kim's nickname was Mama Bear, so feel free to call her Mama Bear anytime you'd like. There we go. All right, so I'm excited to be here with you guys. I love hanging with you. Like, I get to act like myself and be goofy and just have a good time. And I also get to talk about my relationship with God, which I'm going to tell you, nothing is going to serve you better than learning who you are. And the only way to know who you are is by developing a deeper relationship with God. And so that's what this program is all about. It is about understanding who God is, understanding who you are and how loved you are, and you're just going to be able to flourish and become the person, the young men and women God created you to be. And so our mission here at Light of Christ is to invite, nurture, and serve. It's to invite people because we know that nothing feeds you and nothing makes you feel more whole and okay with who God created you to be, like being in community with other people who remind you who you are. Because you're going to go to school and you're going to go out in the world and people are going to say not nice things about you or post something on social media or put something on, a Snapchat or whatever, and it's going to hurt. But being in community like this is going to remind you of who you are And you're going to be able to live into that confidently and not allow those things to break you down. Nurture. That's part of the nurturing too, is being in community, having a safe space and a place where you could talk about the things in your life that are hard. Maybe it's school, maybe it's home life, maybe you're arguing with your brother or sister, whatever it is. This is the space and the place with your leaders and in your small groups and with, Jared and Kim and I to really just be yourself. And you have a safe space to come and people to talk to and to serve. Like, you'll never feel completely 100% good unless you give yourself away in some way, shape, or form, by serving others who are in need, by serving those around you, by opening a door if somebody's carrying a bunch of stuff, or helping someone get something in their car, whatever it is. When we serve, it does something to our hearts, and it does something to our souls. And it makes us feel better and more at peace, because really, we were created to serve, to be helpers to one another. All right, so what is the point of Path? What are our primary goals here? Like Jared said, it is to know God. We want you to know who God is and feel confident in your relationship with God, and to know how ridiculously loved you are. Those are two big things we want you to take away this year. We want you to use the Bible. Like the Bible, I know it's like, oh my goodness, this is big, and not just that, but I'm really confused by it. When we talk about the Bible, it is one of the most incredible roadmaps in life. There's nothing that you're going through that cannot be answered in the Bible. It just may look a little different. So there are lots of things. For instance, one of my favorite verses comes out of Matthew 18, and it is, out of your mouth comes your heart. And you want to know what that says to me? That people who are being mean to me, people who say not nice things about me, people who bash me down, that's really, it's coming out of their heart. And so that ugly, that meanness, it's coming out of their mouth, but really, it's how they're feeling about themselves inside. And so they're feeling broken, and they're feeling hurt, and I don't know what their life story is. And so just knowing that, and knowing that from Scripture, I'm reminded, like, wait a minute, before I get really hurt, or before I get angry with this person, I know that out of their mouth is coming their heart, and they must be hurting. And so there's a lot of rich, awesome wisdom in the Bible that's going to help guide every situation you're in. And if you have a situation, talk to your leaders, talk to us, and we'll guide you to where it's at. Also, using the small catechism. So we're going to have these days called Lounging with Luther. Who here knows anything about Martin Luther? Raise your hand. All right. A fun fact. All right, what's a fact? What do you know about him?
He was accredited with the spread of Lutheranism.
Yeah, Lutheranism, right. That's awesome. So he's like this renegade guy, right? He's awesome. He was a priest in the church, and the church at the time was doing things that weren't necessarily great. They were actually selling pieces of paper to people and said, oh, did your mom die? Well, if you give me a lot of money, I'm going to give you this piece of paper, and I'll make sure that they end up in heaven. Those are called indulgences. And that's not right? That's not cool. And so he made 95 different things that the church was doing, which were wrong and not in alignment with God, and what things that did not come out of Scripture. And he nailed it to pretty much, he posted it on the social media of their day, right? And rocked the world. And so that is the tradition out of which we come. And so there's lots of cool things about him. So we're going to lounge with Luther on certain days. And some of that stuff's going to come out of the small catechism. We are also going to just, your understanding of what your baptismal covenant means. How many of you were baptized recently? How many of you were baptized when you were babies? Right? And so your parents and your sponsors said, yes, I want my child to be raised in a way that looks like Jesus. This is a way of forgiving people even when they don't deserve it, loving people even when they seem incredibly unlovable, and being gracious, meaning making space for people who do things wrong, and just giving them grace. And so, and not holding grudges against them. This is who your parents and sponsors said that they want you to be. And so now you're old enough to understand more what this means and to affirm and to say yourself, yeah, you know what? I do want this for myself. I want this kind of life. And I know how awesome and life-giving it can be. And so that's the whole purpose of Path. Our secondary goals are to build relationships. Like, nothing is more powerful. We were created in the image of a God that is created in a relationship. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in relationship with God's self. So if we're made in the image of God, we're made in the image of a relationship. Developing friendships here, we're going to have lots of opportunities of crossover too. Yeah, you have your small groups. These are great spaces for you to just pour yourself out, talk about things in life. But also we're going to cross groups over. We're going to do different things together and team building stuff. And we're going to have nights where I'll talk about later, but inviting friends. And so it's all about relationships as well. We're going to connect parents. You all have children the same age, right? And it's about relationships with you guys as well. And leaning into each other as you're raising, your young adults, soon to be, preteens. And there are things that come with that season of life. And so leaning into each other is important. And just fostering a commitment to what it means to look like Jesus. I would like to introduce, so we have Jared and Kim. And Jared is in charge of our Path program, but I want him to tell you a little bit about himself. I have a feeling that Jared might know a thing or two about himself more than I do. So I want him to share the good stuff with you.
Well, like I said earlier, my name is Jared Skorberg. I've been a member of Light of Christ Church for probably about 22 years. I have been the Path manager here for about 12 years. I went through Path as a leader and then became the Path manager. I do have 3 kids of my own who all went through Path, and Path must have been pretty good because one of them is going to go be a pastor now. So I have a 24-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 19-year-old, and I can't believe I only have one more year that I won't have a teenager. So, but my wife Joy and I live here in Algonquin. We enjoy everything that Light of Christ has to offer, and we're glad that we can be a part of this ministry and making everything grow, especially for your kids.
Thank you, Jared. Is Kim here? Oh, sweet. We get to talk about Kim. We'll tell you all about Kim. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, you knew we were about to talk about you.
You knew we were about to gossip.
No, gossiping is bad. Only good things.
What did Jared say about himself, guys?
He talked about his superheroes, his superpowers, I mean. Tell us yours.
I'm Kim. I'm the
Hi,
fun
Kim.
one. I'm the fun one, right, Summer Jam kids? We have fun. Yeah. Here you're going to be like, oh, great, Pastor Mo's speaking. Oh. Just kidding. I'm Kim. I am the youth director here, so I love the fact that I actually get to have you for 7 years while you are in middle school and high school. I do a lot more of the behind-the-scenes stuff here at Path. Your parents get lots of emails from me, but you guys get all the fun from me, so let the parents be bored by me. You guys will have fun. We'll do more silly string battles and stuff like that, okay?
Thank you, Kim. We will have silly string battles for sure. I am Pastor Mo. I am newer here. I've been here since November, but I love to have a good time. I have 2 daughters that are actually older, 20 and 21. So I just drove my oldest back to college, but I'm a kid at heart, and so I love to have a good time. I love to have fun. I drive a motorcycle. I like to skydive. I'm fairly adventurous, so I talked Kim into getting a mechanical bull. So, Nerf wars and mechanical bulls, if you can hang. Our theme was bold and courageous, and I said, I feel like nothing shows boldness more than staying on a mechanical bull for more than 3 minutes. So, yeah, well, maybe this year. I would like to ask our coaches and our leaders to stand up. New ones are all. And all right, I just want to say thank you, you guys. Kids, take a look at them. Like, these are the adults. They are letting you know, they are giving their time to you, which is their most valuable asset because they love you and they care about you and they want to see you grow courageously and boldly into the young men and women that you are. And so I just want to give them all a hand for that. Thank you so much, you guys. You are awesome. And it is because of you and your service to our youth that they turn out to be such incredible young men and women. And so we're going to talk about the lesson nights. So one of the things that I need to mention, I know we're all sometimes sort of feeling over it, is COVID. And so what our protocol with that is we're just going to follow what the church says, which is pretty much, let me make sure this one's off, which is if you are vaccinated, then you do not need to wear a mask. If you are not vaccinated, we ask that you wear one for your own safety. If you're not feeling well, please don't come, but let us know that you won't be here, and we'll be praying for you to get better and all that good stuff. We have student check-ins each week. So as you enter in, there will be an iPad. You're going to put your parent's number in there and check yourself in every single week. You'll get a name tag that's printed out. We want you to put that on as everyone is learning each other's names. If you check in, you cannot check in any earlier than 6:15. And also, if you come super late, that is fine, but you can't check in either. So just come to either Jared, Kim, or myself, and we'll make sure you guys get checked in. So what does a typical night look like when you come here? And so this is what it's going to look like typically, but it doesn't mean always, because we've worked in a lot of different fun things. But typically when you come here, you're going to begin either with a game we're going to do together, get you moving, because we will know you will be coming from school, or we're going to start out in youth worship. So that's how we're always going to start our evenings, and then we're going to actually share our answers from the week before. And so you guys are going to go to your small groups and have some questions you're going to be talking about, and you're going to take those answers that you answered from the week previously. Like maybe it is, what do you do when someone makes fun of you? Or how have you handled a fight with your parents? Whatever it is, we're going to bring it to the next week, and we're going to ask that question and have people kind of stand up, or maybe your leaders speak on your behalf until you guys feel comfortable enough to just talk about some of the stuff you shared. And then we are going to have a large, kind of what I'm doing right now, but it won't last long. It's going to be shorter than maybe you traditionally are used to. And then you're going to go back into your small groups. And then at the end of your small group and your time together, you're going to talk about prayer requests. Maybe you have some people that you want your whole group to be praying for. And then you guys are going to end your evening together. And your leaders are going to come back to the annex. And that's when we're going to touch base really quickly. So the parents, the kids, you guys will be done at 8 o'clock sharp. And then leaders come back to the annex room. We're going to touch base. We're going to pray over you guys, because we want to make sure that you're continuously getting what you need as leaders, and that anything that comes up, that we are equipping you and preparing you with our leader huddles throughout the year. And we're going to change those for whatever is needed as you discern as leaders. For those online, so you'll have to let us know ahead of time. So parents, please let the leaders know, because leaders, you're going to have to set things up. So you have to let the leaders know that you're going to be online, and you have to let us know you're going to be online, so we can make sure that your leaders are equipped with the equipment they need in their room, and you'll set it up in the small group room so they can be present with you. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, cool. Yeah, because if we don't know until the day of, it's kind of hard, and we're running around trying to find the right stuff needed for your group in your room. Pick up for Path. So pick up is at 8 o'clock sharp, like I said. Please don't park in the fire zone area, because it's kind of hard, because you're parked there, and then a kid goes running out, and then they don't see the other car coming. So we're trying not to hit kids. That's like that's a goal for the year, hitting no children. So, all these kids look really great and healthy. You can walk out just a little bit further to your parents' car, and all will be good. Let's talk about poop nights. Yay! Pop on over, peeps. So these are the nights we want you to bring your friends, right? We're going to be doing lots of fun, crazy things. We're going to be doing Nerf wars, and we're going to be doing obstacle courses and escape rooms and scavenger hunts and all kinds of fun, crazy things. We are going to have an element for learning, but really this is about community building, relationship building, and having a space to learn about Jesus, but in fun, really cool, playful ways. And so we're going to get down on poop nights and have a great time. And there will be different prizes and fun stuff on poop nights as well. And you get to say poop, you know. So it's kind of fun. All right, Jared, come on up.
Two of our biggest events that we have during Path each year is our Path Bash and our Path Retreat. Path Bash is usually just a Saturday that we congregate here like around between 12 and 1, and then we do some activities. This year we're going to keep it at the church, but we're going to do some serving in the afternoon. So we'll start here at the church, get checked in, then between the kids and their leaders are going to talk about what kind of serving event that they want to do that day. They'll go out and do a serving event, then we're going to come back and we'll have some fun activities that we're going to be doing here and wrap up with some worship as well, and have dinner that would be helpful to nourish us during the day. But both of these events, we really do need a lot of parent involvement to help out, either if it's check-in, if it's preparing food, if it's possibly being a driver, helping your group if you need to. So those things would be great. The one big weekend that we have is our Path Retreat. It's probably the most awe-inspiring, grab your heart, Jesus jumps right in kind of activity. Am I wrong, people who've been there before? You can speak up. Okay, thank you.
Exactly right.
Exactly
Thank
right.
you.
So we go up to youth camp in Lake Geneva, and we spend the weekend. We leave on Friday evening. We have a program that we go through the weekend. This year's theme is Crossroads? Yeah, Crossroads, where we'll be talking about respect and such. On Saturday, we have activities that we do throughout the day that tie with our theme. We do a lot of fun activities that are involved. We do really heartfelt worship that night, where the kids really come together as a group, but also individually in meeting with God that night. And then we come back on Sunday just in time for the 10:30 communion, and then we'll be up here on stage dancing to one of our songs that we usually dance to. But both of these events also you do have to pay extra for. Kim will be sending out the links to these momentarily. Path Bash is usually about $15. Path Retreat is $145, but then the early bird price goes down, I believe, towards the beginning of February, and it goes back up to $165. So you want to get those signed up quickly. And we don't want financial burden to be a problem that you're not able to go. If you don't have the money to put towards this, talk to Pastor Mo, myself, or Kim, and we'll help you figure out a way. We don't want that to be a deterrent for you not to be able to attend.
No, we will make sure that you are definitely there. Money will never get in the way of that. Are you dead?
Oh, still up.
Am I still in your? Oh, yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Path materials. A lot of our new Path students, our 6th graders and new Path students got their Path bags this weekend. Inside your Path bag, you have your Bible, you have your highlighter, you have a pen, and you have your journal. Bring those things in your Path bag every week, because you will be using them each and every week. So it's important that you have those. If you just happen to forget a pen, or your pen ran out of ink, whatever, your leaders do have extra pens and highlighters in there. But if you just on Wednesday nights, remember, pick it up and bring it in. And like Pastor Kendall said, sometimes when he teaches, if he looks at you and you don't have your Bible, he may have you do some push-ups. So make sure you have those things so we can participate. Well, like Aretha Franklin said, respect.
Yes.
R-E-S-P-C-T. That's our one rule we're looking at. We're looking for respect. yourself by being engaged and participating. So we want to make sure that you're respecting yourself during this time. We're not being a distraction to others and a distraction to yourself, but you're grounded during this hour and a half that you're here every Wednesday, and really making the most out of what you've got. That you're showing respect towards other people. You may hear some things in your Path group that don't need to be shared. You know, within your Path group, somebody may be sharing something personal, and then you go to middle school the next day and you're like, hey, did you hear about Johnny and what he said at Path last night? That's not showing respect towards others. If it's something that your leaders feel like we need to know, they will let us know, but most of the time it stays within your group, the things that you share. And then the other thing that we look for is respect to property at our church. So we just want to make sure, like some groups may end up being in the preschool rooms due to the amount of groups that we have. We just ask that you be very careful in there, that you're not sitting on like the little chairs in there and breaking them and, you know, taking the toys out and such. We just want to make sure that we're respecting everything that's here. I mean, there will be times that we may be running around the church, such as in about maybe half hour. But for the most part, let's respect, this is God's house, let's make sure we respect it the way that it is.
Yeah, and mistakes happen. So if you do accidentally break something, don't hide it. Because if I sit in a chair and it busts because you put the leg back on, right? Yeah, we found holes in different things, and it's like, you know what? Mistakes happen. You know, things happen. We know we're having a good time sometimes, and we get rowdy. And so just let us know. Let's see. Oh, we got that. So if problems do arise, this is how we handle when there is an issue that comes into play. The small group leader, your leaders, they're going to address it with you, right? They're going to ask you like, hey, quit jumping on the desk, you know, or whatever it is you're doing. Let's hope you're not jumping on the desk. But whatever it is you're doing, they're going to ask you, you know, hey, could you please not do that? Because what we do matters, especially when we're in community. So maybe there are some kids in your group that really need to hear what your leader is saying, or really need to hear the stories of some of these other kids, because God has them there for that reason, so that they know what to do when something happens with them tomorrow, or they know how to handle a situation in their life, and they're not going to be able to hear it because you're sitting there doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Maybe you need to get up and move around, and that's fine. Your leader they'll help you with that. Second offense, so then the small group leader will bring the student to us. So pretty much to Kim or Jared to address it if you're not listening to your small group leader. And then the third, you get to talk to not Pastor Sharon, but me. Unless you want to talk to Pastor Sharon, but she's pretty far away. So yeah, so you'll be talking to me. And then the fourth offense, we'll just have to, you know, we might have to ban someone from, you know, the really, really fun, cool, powerful moments, and we don't want to do that at all. So, you know, if you're going through some stuff, if you got some stuff in your life that's hard, like, come talk to us. We're here for you. If you're finding it hard to pay attention or whatever, like, let us know. And actually, maybe we could be doing things differently in a way that really caters to you more so you guys can learn better, because that's what it's about. So in your folders, you'll see, in your binders, you're going to see worship reflections. And so what this is, oh, someone's got to wake up. Their alarm's going off. So what this is so we ask for 8 to be completed during half of the year and the 8 the other half. They don't have to be done at this church necessarily, but just pay attention when the preacher speaks, and whatever, we've crafted the questions, whatever caught your eye. There's no wrong or right answers, right? Like, it's what did you get out of it? Sometimes someone will say something about my sermon, and I'm like blown away, because I'm like, that's not even what I was trying to teach. But it's, you know, God moves through people in different ways. So just write down whatever it is that, you know, hits you with the sermon. And they can be done at other churches, like we said. So there are also lots of serving opportunities that we have here at church for you. And let me make sure. Oh, yes. Wait, let me go back really quick because I forgot the details. So this is on your page 2 of your journal, just so you guys know. When you have these worship reports, do not give them to your leaders. okay? Don't give it to them. They got stuff going on Sundays as well with their own families and all that, and we want to make sure that we get them. So in the Connection Center, there at the Connection desk, there will always be these worship reflections, so you could always grab them, and there will be a place for you to put them. Also on Wednesday, we will always have a bin in the annex where we meet for you to always place them in there as well. So don't give them to your leaders, please. Please just put them in there, and they're really easy to get. You can get them online too. Okay, so here are our serving opportunities. We have a lot, and you will see them right here. So they are on this sheet, which is inside your folder, and there are lots of different opportunities. We have different community events. We have, you can serve all the leaders. You can prepare a meal with them. You can go to do angel tree decorations, Pie Fest, just lots of great opportunities to serve, and we're going to come up with a lot more as well. And so on these sheets, also within your folder, is we just want you to list literally where you served, the date, and then have someone sign off. So that's all we're asking, and there's no restrictions. Go ahead, Kim. Oh, here. Oh, yeah.
We got rid of the old serving reflections.
Yeah, we got rid of the old serving reflections where you had to do X amount in the church, X amount outside the church, some at your home. Like, however you feel moved to serve and called to serve, serve. However, if you are a part of this church, part of it is being of service to one another. And so there are certain days, whether it's like decoration day for Christmas, like that would be helpful. For Faithland. Faithland is a huge one. And so Faithland, who here has served in Faithland already? Perfect. If you've served in Faithland, VBS, yeah.
If you served in VBS this year, raise your hand. I'm going to
Perfect.
hand you a chart already
Made
filled
by
out.
Jessica.
Jessica already started you off, so keep your hand up. If I can get some leaders to kind of
Perfect. Yeah, because Jessica already started one for you guys, and then those are your serving opportunities. And you get to play and have fun with other kids.
Oh, they're going to turn that in twice.
Yeah, twice throughout the year, right?
Last bullet point up there.
Oh, yeah, turn it in at the end of December and April. And all this is in your folder as well. Just a minimum of 8, but you know what? The more the merrier. So God loves it when we serve. I don't know why that's acting weird. Is it going? Yeah, I was like, what is going on with this? Here is a great way to serve. Who here knows about the last call before fall? Right? It's going to be a big, huge, fun festival with Euro bungee where you tie up and you get to do flips and crazy stuff. There's a rock wall. There's a dump tank, and Kim will be in the dump tank at 6 p.m. sharp. So I will. I'll be in it too at 6:30. I'm hoping you're all exhausted by that time and you can't throw far. So, but Pastor Kendall will be in there too at 12 o'clock sharp. So, get those pitching arms all warmed up, you guys. So it's going to be tons of fun, face painting and bands and lots of great food trucks, all this good stuff. But you know what? Many hands makes light work. We can't do it if there's only a small amount of us working together. We all got to work together. And so we need people, even now, helping us set up. So setup day or clean up, before the fest, after the fest, during the fest. If you want to serve, please come up to me. We'll plug you in because we need you, because that's how we are the body of Jesus in the world, is by helping each other and for a great cause. Because so the proceeds to this go to the Boys and Girls Club. So this is a club of kids your age as well, a little bit younger, some older, who need help, who maybe don't come from homes that have parents or have 2 parents or have the type of income that could provide for them things that maybe you guys get, like sports or different, vacations or different things like that. And so it helps these children to get ahead in different ways with whatever it is that they need. And so this is a wonderful way to give back to our brothers and sisters who maybe don't have as much as some of us have or are as blessed. All right, so I think this is Jared, right?
Yeah.
You want one more?
For leaders, please make sure after this week you will set up your personal Zoom small group. You do not need to do that tonight. Anyone online, if they're in 8th grade, they'll continue to watch. If you're in 6th and 7th grade online, have a good night. You'll connect in with your small group next week. Jared's now going to explain the rest of this.
Okay, so for a small group tonight, what you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to go to your small group room, and you can just gather as a group. The first part of your journal, there's contact information where you can put the students' names and their phone numbers and such, so you have that all connected. Secondly, what you're going to do, and I want you to do that for probably about 10 minutes, because I'm going to need some time in here before I can go out there, is a scavenger hunt. In a scavenger hunt, I'm going to give you your first clue that you're going to go with. You're going to meet me over by the workroom when I give you your clue. And it's going to give you a clue to where a room is in the church. So like I may say, God's main room. What would be God's main room? Right here in the worship center. So then you got to figure out, okay, we're here in the worship center. But then I'm going to take a picture. I took a picture of something and zoomed into it. So maybe it might be just this little piece right here. So then your envelopes are going to be right underneath the candles. So you're going to have to look in the rooms of where you're going to be to find. This is not going to be a room.
He's going to say
I'm
that,
gonna
yeah.
get to
Like,
that.
this
So-
is not a room.
This is not a room. So there'll be various places throughout the rest of the church, not in here, so there'll be no clues in here, nobody running from one side to the other to get to one side of the church to the other. You know, use the outsides there.
And not in the office area either. We didn't hide anything in
Yeah,
there.
there's nothing in the office area. So you got to make sure you do them in order, though. Just because you see a plastic bag with a bunch of envelopes in it and you just take yours out, doesn't mean that you're going to get the points that you need. What you need to do is make sure you're doing it in order. And I do have sheets that you'll fill out saying the location of where you went first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way through 12. So when you get to if you find it, you'll find a plastic bag like this, and then you'll go inside and look for your envelope that has your grade on it. It'll say like 6th grade girls, Jessica. So we know that that's going to be Jessica Barker's class or group that she's going to be looking for. So you look at that envelope. The things that I ask that you do is you only take yours out, leave everybody else's in there, and do not hide the bag. Leave the bag where I put it. Dylan, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do not hide the bag.
Strategic.
So I will meet each leader, except for 8th grade. 8th grade, you're going to do yours after we have a little bit more talk with you. But 6th and 7th grade leaders, I'll meet you by the door over by the workroom before you head off to your small group rooms first. Okay?
Okay, for now. All leaders, you can put your binders on the snack bar for right now while you guys are having fun in your scavenger hunt. Hey. Oh, it should be, hold on, let me turn that. It's always, I wish I could see behind my, oh, there we go, it is on. Okay, so yeah, 6th and 7th grade leaders, you can go out to Jared and get your stuff, and then 8th grade, y'all stay here. Party's about to start, so we're going to talk about confirmation and all that good stuff. But Jared has a big part of it, and he's still out there. So, hey, Kim, could you go out there and hand that out? Because he's got to talk about the organizer. Oh, you can? Good, okay. I'll talk about the, go ahead. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about this, and then I hand off the organizer. The purpose.
Dylan, can you run in and ask for the stack of graphic organizers? Yeah, tell them they. Admin, ask admin for that. Graphic organizers for 8th grade.
Thank you. All right, so who here has heard about Faith Expression Night? Yes, and what do you guys think about it? Or what have you heard about it? Or what do you feel when I even mention it? Not all at once. I want you guys to calm down. Let each other speak. Anything? Faith Expression Night. Anxious, yes. Anyone else? Go ahead. Fear? Yeah. I'm telling you, we heard a lot of this last year and it broke my heart because it was like, here's an opportunity for you to express in any way you want. If you love to skateboard, what does it look like to incorporate God into your skateboarding in a way that gives God glory, right? Like in a way that honors God. Like you get to express your faith in any way. So for me, that's exciting, right? But there was this idea that like you got to do things a certain way or it has to look a certain way. This is about your relationship with God. And so however your faith is expressed is how it's expressed. And some of the kids were like, you know what, I don't have talents like some of the other kids. I don't paint. So I can't paint something and be like, oh, this is how I feel about God, and this is what this means, and this is what that means. I mean, I'm horrible at it. Everything looks like sticks and has weird eyes and different size limbs. It's not pretty. Singing, that's not my jam either, right? Like some people are like, oh, they sing beautifully, express their faith. But here's something to think about. God has given you all talents. Are you funny? Do you make your friends laugh? Are you a good listener? Are you that person that doesn't have to be talking all the time, but really you're an amazing friend and you have a lot of people who like you because you know how to listen, which is a really valuable skill to have? Are you someone that cares when you see someone struggling with tons of bags in their hands? Not everyone does care. Not everyone even sees those people. But are you someone that it moves your heart to get up and go help them? That's the gift of mercy, right? And so what is it that makes you you? And what are your God-given talents? And not just that, but how do you take that and how do you take how you feel about God and what God's meant to you and seasons of life that God has really helped move you or show you who you are, and how do you express that? And we're here to help you do that in any way, shape, or form. If you're like, the Bible's confusing, I don't know what's going on, come and talk to us about it. Talk to your leaders, talk to me, talk to Kim, talk to Jared. I want to help you and equip you in any way that you need. And don't be embarrassed. No question is a stupid question. And this is your journey. And no answer for this is right, because it's your journey. It's about your relationship with God. So it gets to look any way you want it to look, which is pretty cool. And so Kim is going to talk a little bit more about some of the details that go into our Faith Expression Night.
So the date right there is January 12th. That is going to be the workshop. Did Pastor Mo explain that to you?
No, I talked about the why.
Okay. We're going to have a workshop for you guys to kind of go through, what do I actually want to do? Parents, that's also a meeting for you to attend because we go over a lot of details on that. Did everyone get this graphic organizer when you came in for 8th grade? Someone missing this at all?
Yeah.
This graphic organizer, it's really a simple way for you to walk through your story. It's very simple. You don't need to fill the whole thing up. It's just kind of there getting you to start thinking about your faith. You will have homework. It is due on January 12th. This is your homework. You have a long time. So, on January 12th, this is due. Also, baptism photos, or, we know that sometimes photos get lost. You may have not been able to snap a photo at the baptism. That's fine. You can share a photo from even just when they were around the same age, a baby photo. We've done different things. If you were baptized later in life, we've had people use those photos instead. So it's really up to the parent and the child on how you want to use that photo. You can either email it to me, or you can bring it in person. If you want to go home tonight and email it to me, I'm great with that already. I have a folder for it. I think next. We already talked about that, so. Here, Jared, you're up.
Okay, we have a confirmation prep day that we work on. This is going to be the Sunday before confirmation on April 24th from 12 to 1:30. So after the 10:30 service, we will meet in the annex. We'll have some lunch with the kids, and then we practice how it's going to go through with the actual confirmation service. So we'll get lined up in a specific way. We'll show you how you come up onto the stage, where you're going to kneel, how it's going to happen and such. We ask parents to come back around 1:15 that day for any Q&A that we have. If you have questions about different things, that would be the time to ask. You can always ask anytime throughout the year, but if things do pop up that day, then you can ask as well, and we'll just give you some information too. Faith expressions will be on April 27th. They'll start at 6:30 in the evening, go till roughly about 9. We're hoping we might have to split this up across 2 days, since we do have a larger 8th grade group this year. So we will definitely get that information to you as soon as we look at the calendar, make sure that works. Yeah, so like the 26th and the 27th, possibly. Leaders will be working with each 8th grader to help them find a way to express their faith. Maybe your talent is, your God-given gift is music, or speaking, or making videos, or whatever it is. Whatever is you feel like what God has given to you as a gift is how you should be expressing your faith towards Him. So more of that will be shared. We'll give you some ideas and some snippets of things that have happened in the past that you can hopefully spark an idea for you on that time on the 13th. And then confirmation, the actual confirmation service will be on Saturday, April 30th at 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. Like I said, we do have a larger group this year, so the service may run a little bit long, but not too bad. And you don't feel like you have to go to the Saturday service for confirmation and come back on Sunday, because you're just hearing the same sermon again. So if you come to 5 o'clock service, you're good.
Unless you really like the sermon, then you might want to check it out twice. Whoa, Kim.
And back to Kim.
Did you introduce the coaches? Yeah.
So if you're needing help, those two men back there, very wise. Craig and Chris, those are the coaches. Hand. I'm telling you,
coaches.
They're wiser than.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. Okay, something I really, really hope every one of you will come on is the youth mission trip. We are going to Nashville, Tennessee this year. We're really excited about that. We work with an organization, YouthWorks, but really, how many of you like to serve? You've enjoyed serving over the time. This is a full week of serving, but also a ton of fun happens, growth happens. You can ask your student leaders. They've been on these trips, and it has been life-changing for them. Parents, you may be like, I'm not ready to let go of my baby for a week. You are. Trust me. Mama Bear's got it. But we have a blast. We grow together, and soon sign-up will open for that. And I really, honestly, I have a certain amount of spaces. I hope you take all of my high schoolers' spaces before they even sign up, because they're really last-minute kids. So I hope you will join. Honestly, talk to your student leaders. They've all been on a trip. And they are going to be the ones to tell you exactly what it was like. I could sit here and do it, but that's going to be more meaningful from them. So parents, sign up for that will happen in the next month or so. You do not pay that $650 right away. It is a $100 deposit. But then we start doing fundraisers. So it's possible to raise that whole trip without you even putting any of your money except for that deposit. But sometimes grandma and grandpa even want to pay the deposit, you know? So I'm encouraging you, sign up. I know Alex is really looking forward to this, aren't you? Yes. So how many of you are excited and think you would want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I went a whole week with like no sleep. Literally like 2 hours of sleep a night. It was interesting.
Don't tell that to the parents.
I mean, we were well rested.
We go to bed at 10.
Well, and here's the thing too. I don't want money to ever be an issue. So you come talk to us privately, come talk to me. You don't want anyone else to know about it. Just come talk to me. I'll make sure it doesn't get on any paper and it's handled in a way where it's very discreet. Because I never want money to be a reason why you cannot come, why your kid cannot come. And also, this is an opportunity. Bring your cousin, bring your friends, invite, you know? And so this is just a great time to grow and get to know one another even better. And it's fun, lots of fun.
And never feel bad about needing the scholarships. We have people like, actually, Chris Cardis' son raises more than his amount. He then donates it to someone that needs it. So we have people that are already in the motion of helping in this. So don't let it ever affect you. And I think that is it for 8th grade.
That's it.
That is it.
Oh my goodness, we did so good.
Yes. We can
Yay.
end. Adrian, CBS, we'll see you.
Yes,
around.
bye. And then let's end us in a prayer. Are they going to do the scavenger hunt too, right? Let's end us in a prayer really quick. Heavenly Father, we thank you for just the relationship with you. We thank you that you never leave us, that you never forsake us, that you are always standing by our side.